Do you want more success, more growth, more results? Then it's time for the Boundless Success Accelerator from the Modern Observer Group. This isn't your average coaching program. It's where top performers come to dominate. Weekly group sessions, on-demand coaching, a community that's got your back, and a power-packed library of tools to supercharge your business and career. No more excuses, no more waiting. Get in, level up, and start building the life you've been dreaming about. Visit us at modernobserver.com/boundless success to join today. Let's get you to the next level. We're here because the news is being distorted. We're here because people are being inundated with misinformation on social media. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup.
This is the raw, naked truth.
Mark Carney holds on to power in Canada. New York rioters tied to Hamas. Massive investments in the U.S., and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. Mark Carney's Liberal Party won Canada's election. That means the former central banker will get to keep his job as Canada's Prime Minister at an economically perilous time for the nation, which is reeling from President Trump's trade war and his musings that it should become the 51st state. Carney's path to victory was not always assured. His party trailed the Conservatives, led by Pierre Poilievre, when Carney's predecessor, Justin Trudeau, stepped down. Canadian officials have said for weeks in continuing press briefings that they have detected Chinese efforts to interfere in the election, including an orchestrated push on Chinese-language social media to pollute the digital environment with positive takes on Mark Carney. A lawsuit filed in the Southern District of New York states the leaders of several radical anti-Israel groups involved in 18 months of disruptive, violent, and anti-Semitic protests on campuses and in the streets of New York City are accountable for aiding and abetting Hamas's continuing acts of international terrorism, in violation of the Anti-Terrorism Act and the Alien Tort Statute. The defendants are said to have acted as Hamas's foot soldiers in New York City, and many have had foreknowledge of the designated foreign terror organization's devastating October 7th attack. Defendants in the case are Within Our Lifetime and its founder, Nerdine Kizwani, Columbia Students for Justice in Palestine and its representative Marianne Alwan, Columbia Barnard Jewish Voice for Peace and its representative Cameron Jones, and Columbia University Apartheid Divest and its representative Mahmoud Khalil, who is currently in custody of Immigration and Customs Enforcement. The lawsuit asserts that the groups have distributed Hamas-created and affiliated propaganda, incited fear and violence, and attacked critical academic, economic, and infrastructure centers in New York City, as well as having repeatedly terrorized and assaulted Jews across New York City and on Columbia University's campus, physically assaulted Columbia University employees, and illegally seized and damaged public and private property. The Trump administration has found the University of Pennsylvania to be in violation of Title IX by denying women equal opportunities by permitting males to compete in women's intercollegiate athletics and to occupy women-only intimate facilities. The school, for whom transgender swimmer Leah Thomas participated in women's competitions, has 10 days to be in compliance with Title IX before it faces a criminal deferral to Trump's DOJ. President Vladimir Putin announced a 3-day ceasefire from May 8th to 11th to mark 80 years since the World War II victory in Europe, following sharp criticism from President Trump over recent strikes in Kiev. Ukraine's leaders rejected the move as symbolic, calling for an immediate, lasting truce instead of a pause. The Kremlin warned it would resume fighting if Ukraine violated the ceasefire, while Trump urged Putin to stop shooting and sign a deal. Tensions remain high as both sides accuse the other of stalling real peace talks. Meanwhile, the Russian military is expanding army bases close to the Finnish border. It's one of several moves that have alarmed Europeans and point to a wider buildup on NATO's eastern flank. Finland joined NATO in 2023 after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Spain declared a state of emergency Monday after a massive power outage crippled large parts of the country and neighboring Portugal, snarling traffic, halting trains, and closing airports. In Madrid and Benidorm, people scrambled to find gas stations and held classes in the dark while firefighters carried out dozens of elevator rescues. Even the Madrid Open tennis tournament was disrupted, with Coco Gauff forced to navigate pitch-black locker rooms after winning her match. In Lisbon, streets were choked with traffic, with police using whistles and hand signals at dead intersections. Officials ruled out a cyber attack, but the cause remains under investigation. Spain has restored some power, but Portugal faces a slower recovery and mounting frustration. IBM plans to invest $150 billion in the U.S. over 5 years. That includes $30 billion earmarked for R&D for manufacturing its mainframe and quantum computers in the U.S. It's not the only tech company to announce a big commitment to spend in the U.S. since President Trump took office and unveiled steep tariffs on imports from abroad. NVIDIA and Apple have each separately said they plan to spend $500 billion stateside over the next 4 years. Companies in other industries, including pharmaceuticals, have also committed to increased U.S. investment. U.S. drug maker Merck said on Tuesday it is investing $1 billion in a new Delaware plant to expand domestic production as it prepares to deal with Trump's tariffs. The new facility will produce biological drugs and Keytruda, becoming Merck's first in-house U.S. site to make the blockbuster cancer treatment. Amazon on Monday launched the first batch of its Kuiper internet satellites into space after an earlier attempt was scrubbed due to inclement weather. A United Launch Alliance rocket carrying 27 satellites lifted off from a launch pad at the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida shortly after 7 p.m. Eastern, according to a live stream. We had a nice smooth countdown, beautiful weather, beautiful liftoff, and Atlas V is on its way to orbit to take those 27 Kuiper satellites, put them on their way, and really start this new era in internet connectivity. Caleb West, a systems engineer at ULA, said on the live stream following the launch. The satellites are expected to separate from the rocket roughly 280 miles above Earth's surface, at which point Amazon will look to confirm the satellites can independently maneuver and communicate with its employees on the ground. Coca-Cola beat Wall Street's quarterly earnings and revenue estimates Tuesday and largely reaffirmed its full-year outlook, as it said it expects the effects of global trade conflicts to be manageable. For 2025, Coke is still anticipating that its organic revenue will grow 5 to 6%, and comparable earnings per share will increase 2 to 3%. Unlike rival PepsiCo, Coke did not trim its full-year forecast. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth Daily News Brief, as well as our sister podcast, Carnivore Radio, with news analysis and commentary, and the rest of the Xvadio Podcast Network at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcasts app, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.